Hey everyone, so just figured it was a good time to do an update. Last videos I posted were about the heater tripping the GFI, as well as an upgrade on my RO system. Um, so one of the reasons I want to shoot this video today is one, I just got done cleaning the tank. Not that I got everything perfect, but I gave a light agitation to the top of the sand bed to clean the back glass. So took a toothbrush to the power heads. I didn't take them out and soak them in vinegar yet. I just did that a few weeks ago. But yeah, things like that. And when I was doing this, I was thinking like I've never cleaned before I shot a video, because I've always been shooting about the issues in my tank and uh, you know and I don't know, I just kind of felt like, maybe people aren't seeing what this tank looks like when it's clean. I only get to come over here like one day a week to work on this. Therefore, when I've shot videos in the past, it's been at least a week since it got a good cleaning. I don't clean it every week, especially like the back glass. I don't mind letting that grow a little bit of algae on it. It still looks pretty natural in the background. So, um, but yeah. So since the power outage, we we've made a few changes. Well, first off, we'll go in the fish room. The heater that we were using got replaced, but I can't fit it back in the cord management holder because the cord is too short. On the old one, I had cut it and lengthened it, so we'll see what can be done with that. One of the reasons I haven't cut it yet is because one of the changes we made. Hey Alexa, tell Apex Fusion to turn on the stand light. So one of the changes we've made is that this sump is going. It's too small. There's not enough headspace in the sump to account for the drawdown in the system. This is a 75 gallon wide, 75 gallon wide tank that's been turned into a sump. We bought it used. And it probably worked great for that guy's tank, but the baffles are just too high in it. And given that this is a 240 wide, it's 30 inches wide by 6 feet long, and then we have a 24 inch by 24 inch cube over there, that leads to a lot of surface area in our displays. So when the pumps come off, that's a lot of water drawing down. Not to mention you've got this long overflow box, which when you turn the water off goes to about this height. So you're losing several inches of water even in the overflow box. And the sump was overflowing, as we saw several times in the past, and especially during this problem that we had with the heater. Kind of taking, it was popping the GFI and then everything was shutting off. And I don't know. So we're getting a new sump. I don't know that I want to endorse the company yet, so I won't mention their name. I'm a little upset with them. The sump was supposed to be here, within about 10 days after we shot the last video and had all those problems with the power. And it's been well over a month now, and I still don't have a sump. I had to send them several emails pressuring them, and I'm normally not that kind of customer. But you just would go forever without hearing anything with them, and I'd have to send them an email, and then they're like, oh yeah, it'll ship out next Monday, and then next thing you know, it's next Friday and I still haven't heard anything, and then oh yeah, next Monday. And we'll see. I mean, it's frustrating. I bought from this company because they had a 4th of July sale and I could save like $100, and I could have gone with another brand and paid about $300 more, got a same size, and probably would have it in already. The other thing is, this is going to be quite a process to get the old sump out. This sump that we have right now does not simply slide out. It's too bulky, so we have to remove this center brace. And I don't know if I should just remove the center brace, pull it out, and put the new sump in and put the center brace back in, or if I should put a stanchion a little bit further down, remove the center brace. That way this 2x6 that the tank's sitting on has a little bit more support, and then I'll remove the center brace and we can pull this old one out and then put the new one in. The new sump is a much better size. It should slip in and out the way that the stand is set up now because it's 2.5 inches shorter than this tank, but it's 4 inches wider. So we get quite a bit more volume. Oh, plus it's 2 feet longer. That also is another. Oh no, it's 1 foot longer. Yeah, it's a 60-inch versus this 48-inch sump that we have now. And so yeah, it should just slip right in. We'll see if that's true. Either way, I know I can get in here eventually, and I'll get some help over here to help me. It's going to be a process. We're going to have to drain this sump, get the new sump in there, redo the plumbing. So we're going to have to move a lot of our filtration equipment into the display somehow. I don't know exactly how all that stuff's going to work, but for the most part, put the heater in here, and we'll probably put the skimmer in here, and that's it, and then everything else just gets shut down while the PVC glue cures and all that stuff. So I'll definitely be shooting a pretty detailed video on that process, and that's going to be coming up here in a couple weeks. Other things that we've changed since then, oh yes, the RO system. So the last time we saw the tank, I had a lot of green hair algae. My house, or this house, doesn't have central air, and therefore it gets kind of hot in here in the summertime, and with that heat comes algae. So now that we're well into August now, a little over halfway through August, we're starting to see that algae die back. There's still a few spots that have it. You can see some tufts of it there. In the back over here, there's some still up there, but it's actually dying off quite quickly, and even though it's dying off, we're not seeing a lot of nutrients added. I think another thing that's helping with this algae is the upgrades to the RO system. So I'll just walk over there and we can recap what we had going on over there. Oh, it's gonna be dark. Let's see here. Let's get these lights on. Alright, so it's going to be dark in here, and this door just broke the other day, so it's going to take a minute to get this open. So let's see here. Alright. Sorry about that. So anyways, this is our water softener room / furnace room. It's really tight and stuff. But what we have here, we have the sediment carbon RO cation. And then it goes down here to 3 anions and then 1 mixed bed before it goes through the wall and into the fish room. The fish room is right on the other side of this wall here. So I really like having these 3 anions. One of the problems with the algae was last time we only had the 1 anion cartridge and it had completely exhausted and we didn't catch it on time. Being that this is tucked away in a closet, you don't really see it, all the time. And given that phosphate's an anion, I think we are just adding a lot of phosphate to the tank through the top off. So since then, we added the extra anion, and then there's 2 more anions after that. And I really like this because this cartridge is almost completely exhausted, but I don't have to worry about changing it because there's 2 more. So basically, I can wait until these 2 are completely exhausted, and then take that one and put it up front and put 2 brand new ones behind it. That way, I'm never I always have like a cartridge of either brand new or partially exhausted anion resin, and so it's still going to be catching those anions. And then I can change the cartridges out 2 at a time, so I have to change them out less frequently. I'm actually getting double the amount of time before I have to think about changing the anion cartridges. And then don't forget there's still that mixed bed at the end that if this half exhausted or almost, I'll never let this get almost exhausted, the one in the 3rd position. I will always bump it up and replace it with 2 new ones before it gets there. But if anything is getting through, we still have the mixed bed. I think it's ridiculous. This cation cartridge has been in there for like 4 anion replacements and doesn't even show any exhaustion yet. So I go through who knows how many anion cartridges before I have to change a cation or a mixed bed. So anyways, yeah, that was the change I made. And since then, phosphates have steadily been dropping in our tank. They've always been high in our tank. And I mean, I don't know, there's just very little more I can do. I'm not a big fan of using GFO or anything like that. In my 90 gallon, I had issues with GFO turning the water to like a milk color. I mean, it was just thick white, and the oxygen in the tank would just plummet. And you'd have to like shut off the GFO and heavily aerate the water, and then it would go away. So I don't know. I just don't like using that. I use Fosguard every now and then. You know, that stuff's good, but it's aluminum based, and even though they say aluminum doesn't leach into the tank from that media, I mean, I'm skeptical. You know, nobody likes adding metals to their tank. So, but yeah, I use Fosguard in emergencies. So yeah. Yeah, so things are going pretty well. You know, this is the first time I've cleaned the tank before a video. I think it looks pretty good. You know, let's see here. What else we got going on here? Oh, after the power outage, we did lose 2 corals. One of them, you can see that little dead frag right there in the center of the screen. That was my pink lemonade, I think it was called. And that didn't make it. And then in the back there, let's zoom in on it. This was like a little, I don't know, like an echinata, I think it was. There's a lot of algae around there. But that one didn't make it either. It was kind of like it reminded me of back in the day when I had a frag of Jason Fox, Mr. Yuck. But I picked that up pretty cheap at a frag swap, and it didn't make it. Those were the only 2 casualties, though. Other than that, things have been going really good. We did 2 water changes since the power outage, and you know, remember during that during that heater issue video, we changed salts, so we're now using salinity. We've used this salt in the past, and we used it on our 90 gallon exclusively for about 6 or 7 years, and it did really well. It's not too expensive. You know, I think it's cheaper than Red Sea, but you can only get that stuff at local fish stores. They don't sell it online anywhere, which is fine by me. And it takes a while to mix up, but if you're kind of like me, you know, I dump the salt in the mixing barrel at night, and then I come back in the morning to do the water change. So that's fine by me. And I gotta say, the color on some of these corals is getting pretty intense since we've done those 2 water changes and let a month pass. Some of our green corals that were just back there, they were pretty light green in the past, as well as like this, what is that called, spongiodes back there. They were starting to get kind of pale, and they're really coloring up fast. I was really shocked. I've never seen color. I've seen corals, you know, get lighter colors really quickly, but I've never seen them restore their color so quickly. Sunny D's are really doing well since all of this. This Monty, since the 2 water changes, has been probably grown a half an inch in a month. That thing was just kind of like stalled out for the longest time. And yeah, so I don't know. I like it. We're probably going to do another water change since we're seeing such a drastic change in our coral health since just 2 water changes. We've never been people to do excessive water changes. We don't set a water change schedule and like do 10% every week or whatever. We're kind of the people who you know, will do 4, maybe 5 water changes a year. Given that we were having some issues, you know, with the extra phosphate getting in here and the issues with the power to the tank, and we had that kind of chaotic day. Yeah, we threw some extra water changes in there to kind of pick up the slack, but normally wouldn't do water changes so quickly. But I'm going to do a couple more water changes here in the next month or so, maybe the next 2 months, and see what changes here. You know, see if we keep getting this rapid coloration and rapid growth from our corals. And if that's the case, I don't know, maybe I will add a water change schedule. It definitely won't be for waste removal. It'll be for, you know, mineral import. And you know, it makes me think about all these methods like Triton, where you literally test for all these like micronutrients and stuff in the tank and add them as needed. And We'll see. I mean, maybe I start getting some more elaborate test kits and testing for, or maybe I'll start using these ICP tests. Maybe like I'll do one every 6 months, and if if I start seeing, maybe I can start recognizing some trends in the tank, and I can just start putting that one mineral, that one micronutrient on a dosing schedule, and then I'll probably be even less dependent on the ICP test because I'll know how this tank is typically consuming some of these nutrients and what ones are depleting over 6 months and need to be replaced. So, and if I keep doing water changes while I do that experiment, it'll definitely throw things off because I won't know how my tank is responding to this stuff. Um, because I will be altering the ecosystem through water changes, and it won't be truly the uptake of from the corals. So, but yeah, I don't know. Lots to think about. Nothing is gonna happen until this sump gets in here. That's priority numero uno. So, um, yeah, we'll get that in there. I don't know how long it's gonna take to ship. They said they'd send me another email with the tracking information, but I'm yet to get that email. So, who knows? Yeah. So just shooting some shots of the coral here. Sorry about the LED flicker. Um, that has to do with the way the LEDs are dimmed, as well as the frame rate of the camera. So, yeah. Uh, let's see here. Things are going good. We're still running the reef breeders. They're doing good. Come November, I'm going to shoot a 1-year review on them and just talk about my experience with these lights after running them for a year. Trust me, it's going to be pretty much all positive. Um, but yeah, let's see here. What else is going on in here? Oh yeah, we added a heart urchin, and he kind of just hangs out underneath the sand. Today, when I was like moving the sand around, I did find him like right here. Last time I found him, he was like all the way over here, in the sand. So that's he's definitely moving through. And I've always heard some comments about people's like sand turning to cement, and this heart urchin, really moves through the sand bed a lot, and I think, he kind of slowly stirs up the underside and keeps that stuff going good. So, alright, well, that's about all I have for this video. So, let me know what you think, and definitely subscribe, especially if you want to see the chaos that happens during the sump edition. So, be sure to keep an eye out for that video. Thanks for watching.